All right, so you know that feeling, right? You're a retail executive, you walk onto the sales floor, and you just know what to expect.
Yeah.
Same displays, same team, same kind of rhythm to the day. They can feel a little like Groundhog Day sometimes.
Oh, totally.
And that's what we're diving into today on the deep dive. We're going to figure out how to break out of that rut, how to make things feel fresh again right there on the sales floor.
Yeah.
And to help us with that, we've got some super interesting insights from Multimedia Plus.
Oh, yeah. They're the experts.
They've been doing this for 28 years. They really know retail training like inside and out.
For sure.
So what we're going to do is pull out the best strategies from them, the ones that you can actually use.
Right, practical stuff.
Exactly. We want to give you the tools to energize your team, make those customer connections way more meaningful, and of course,
in sales.
got to see those numbers moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. And, as a retail executive, you're juggling so much already. Driving performance, making sure every customer has a good experience, staying on top of all the changes.
It's a lot.
It is. And when your team is feeling that been there, done that vibe, it just makes everything harder.
Oh, for sure.
And what Multimedia Plus really nails is that this repetition thing, it isn't just about morale. It really hits those key performance indicators you're always tracking.
You're saying it actually affects the bottom line?
Oh, yeah. Think about it. An associate who's feeling uninspired,
Yeah.
they're not going to have those genuine, engaging conversations that lead to sales. That spark's just missing.
Right, they're just going through the motions.
Exactly.
So let's break down this whole Groundhog Day effect a little more. Let's picture one of your newer team members. They start out all excited, but then the days just kind of blend together. Same questions, same tasks over and over.
It's easy to lose that initial excitement.
Totally. And the article really highlights how that can lead to a real dip in enthusiasm. And as a retail executive, you know what that means.
Yeah, it's a domino effect.
Yeah. Exactly. If the frontline's energy is down, those positive customer experiences you're working so hard for, they just become harder to deliver. It's like this obstacle you got to overcome.
And here's the thing, and this is where Multimedia Plus gets really smart. They're not saying all repetition is bad.
Right. They're going to be routines.
Of course, you've got to have your core processes in retail handling transactions, managing inventory. That's just a reality.
That's the baseline.
But what's really insightful is their point that the problem comes in when the learning and development around those routines gets stale.
Okay, so it's not the routines themselves, it's that there's no growth, no new information tied to them.
Exactly. When training feels like a rerun and there's no sense of progress, that's when you get stuck in that Groundhog Day loop.
And it's not even necessarily the task itself that's draining. It's the way we're teaching people to do it, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. You're demonstrating a product for the 10th time. That's fine. But if the training on that new feature was just a boring hour-long presentation...
Oh, yeah. Nobody's going to remember that.
Exactly. It goes in one ear and out the other. And the article really calls out those long, passive training formats, the endless slideshows, the watch and learn, with zero participation.
It's just not effective.
Especially for a team that's on their feet all day, dealing with customers constantly. They need something that sticks.
Right. Something that actually makes a difference.
And that brings up a big question. What kind of learning actually works for retail teams today? And Multimedia Plus has some great answers based on years of experience.
They really know their stuff.
They do. They emphasize that modern associates need content that fits their lives, their fast-paced digital world,
Makes sense.
So think short, punchy videos that get the point across fast, none of those long, drawn-out sessions.
All right, get to the point.
Exactly. And they also talk about relevance, using scenarios and situations your team actually faces every day on the floor.
So they can connect the dots,
Exactly. And from a practical standpoint, for you, the executive, this just makes sense, right? Imagine your team needs a quick refresher on a promotion before the weekend rush hits. A 2-minute video they can watch on their phone during a break, that's way more effective than trying to squeeze in a whole training session.
Way more efficient.
Exactly. And the article even highlights how important it is to have that mobile access during their shifts, not just when they're off the clock.
So they can get the information when they need it.
Exactly. They can answer a customer's question right on the spot. It boosts their confidence, and the customer's happy too. It's about making learning seamless part of their day.
And that leads us to this idea of on-the-floor learning, which Multimedia Plus shows off with their Insight platform.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool one.
It is the whole idea is to put learning right into the workflow so it supports your team without pulling them away from customers.
So it's like they're learning while they're working.
Exactly. Picture this. An associate needs a quick tip on cross-selling, or wants to review the key points of a new product line, they can just grab their phone and boom, information's right there.
And it happens right before they interact with the customer, so they can apply it immediately.
Exactly. And for you as the executive, think about how much more efficient that is. Less time in training rooms, more time on the floor making sales.
And it's not just about efficiency. It's about giving your team the knowledge they need when they need it most.
It empowers them to be better at their jobs.
Exactly. They feel more confident, more capable, and that translates to better customer interactions and better sales numbers.
Now let's switch gears a little from how information is delivered to the actual content itself.
Okay.
Multimedia Plus is really big on connecting those everyday tasks, the how of retail, to the bigger why.
Okay, so like folding sweaters, stocking shelves, processing returns, all that stuff.
Exactly, connecting that to the bigger picture. Like, why does your brand matter? What value are your products bringing into people's lives? They say training is the perfect time to instill this sense of purpose in your team.
And I can see how that would be super motivating if your associates get the brand's mission, if they can explain how their products actually solve problems. It changes everything.
Right, it's not just a job anymore. They become brand ambassadors.
Exactly. And for you, the executive, think about what that means. More job satisfaction, less turnover, a team that's really invested in your success.
And to build on that motivation, the article also talks about the importance of recognition.
Okay, like employee of the month kind of stuff.
Kinda, but they suggest things like progress trackers, digital badges for completing modules, even friendly competitions.
Now, that might sound like small stuff, but it's really about the psychology behind it. Those little acknowledgments show people they're moving forward, they're achieving something.
It keeps them engaged.
Exactly, and it makes them feel valued, seen for their efforts, not just when they hit a huge sales target, but all along the way.
And the best part is, these tactics don't have to be expensive. It's about creating a culture where learning and growth are celebrated.
Makes sense.
And lastly, Multimedia Plus tackles a challenge a lot of retail leaders face: creating and keeping up with good training content. It's a lot of work.
It is.
So naturally, they highlight their Designed by MMP services, which are basically custom-built training solutions tailored to each brand's needs.
It's like they do all the heavy lifting for you.
Exactly. They handle the strategy, the video production, the delivery platforms, everything.
That's got to be a huge relief for busy executives.
It is, because let's be real, developing impactful training, it's not always something retail companies are good at.
And sometimes it's just easier to bring in the experts.
Exactly. And the article emphasizes how dedicated Multimedia Plus is to creating training that people actually connect with, that makes them feel supported and ready to do their best.
And for you, the executive, that's a solution right there. It takes the pressure off you to create all this content from scratch.
So to sum it all up, for you breaking free from that Groundhog Day feeling on your sales floor, it's not a one-and-done thing.
Right, it's got to be more strategic.
It's a whole approach to how you train and engage your team.
Yeah.
It's about ditching those outdated passive learning methods and embracing dynamic, relevant content that fits into their real lives.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, investing in smart, human-centered training, it's not just a bonus, it's crucial for success in retail today.
Couldn't agree more.
When your team is engaged, when they feel empowered and they understand the why behind their work, that energy spills over into everything. Better customer experiences, more loyalty, and of course, stronger sales.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought for you as you think about all this and the specific challenges in your stores. What's one small change you could make this week to how your team learns and grows? Something that could inject a little more life into their routines and ultimately help your bottom line.
That's something to think about for sure.
It is.
Well, this has been another great deep dive. I'm definitely feeling inspired to shake things up a little.
Me too. It's all about keeping things fresh.
Exactly. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya. Bye.